You know, back in the day, we had a word for that. It was called tyranny.
Well, as I said before, back in the day, my stepdad unplugged our landline because the government was listening. Now we have phones that, while I'm talking, say, "I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that." What? uh, oh, yep, yep. So the question: does the bot tell you what direction at the open is most likely to happen? First off, you call Neo a bot, he's gonna insult you. No, but yes, he has done it for like 9 weeks pretty much. Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
crushing
he's
it.
done it occasionally for about 9 weeks now. Just occasionally.
Only disclaimer.
Yeah, it's only been for what's up, Stevan? It's only been I mean, not long. Only every day for 9 weeks. Yeah, he's been crushing it. He's been crushing it.
He's only been wrong once that I've been on, and it could just be because I misunderstood him.
Yeah, there was a period of time. Morning, guys. Morning, Ted. There was a period of time where he was just, and it's market conditions, right? They're gonna change. But he was nailing it to a point like I'd sweep this and go to this, and it would sweep that. We'd all enter and go to that. I mean, it was stupid easy, right? And so you could do a free 3-day trial, and then I'll go into all that here in just a second. But now, like I said, there's mild interpretation you have to have. So if he says, like, let's just use this like an example. If he were to say, and this was the open, that it's going to sweep the high and then slam it back down to 212. When it sweeps the high, you don't want to take the short until we cross back below the line that he said on that. Otherwise, that's going to be likely the move. We're going to push, get a pull, and then it just goes because it's still got to respect the level. All right, he doesn't have a crystal ball, and that's where some that get caught, I think, are either A, they're taking the first move too soon, which could be good, but I don't typically do myself even because at times he'll say, I'll sweep a high and it will literally just go boop and then just pull like that. And so that first move is dangerous. Now, some people say, like the last couple days, that first move, it just jumped and stayed above it and kept going. It had a couple times. And that's why you don't really want to take it until it recrosses. But also, if it just goes and you didn't take the first move, who cares? You didn't take the first move. Oh no. You, oh no. You guys got to think about it. So those who were trading yesterday, and I will get to your answer on that, Craig.
There's no more moves after that. That's the only
Yeah,
one.
move of the day, guys. We're done. Pre-market. Join my team. Oh, beating the old proverbial horse. Where were we yesterday? Right here. So yesterday, he called it phenomenal because there was where was here was the open, and he had a level somewhere here, and he said we would sweep that, and then we would drop down to what did he say? He said like 40 something to 60 something. So we dropped down, everybody hit their TP. A lot of people, yeah. A lot of people end up catching the flip because when it hits it, it tends to reverse because that first move is usually kind of not that right one. But when it bounces, some of y'all are crazy. You take it from straight from, which I love, and it's a risk reward thing, right? If you love to take those extra risks, go for it. The safer play is to get it to go below, get the bounce, and then let it reclaim that next level is ideal. But yeah, yesterday was wild. But there's an important lesson in yesterday, guys. Those that were here in the morning, and I wanted to touch on it a little bit. Love it for Friday too. You have to trade your plan. Not everybody has the same plan. Some people are breakout traders. Some people are top and bottom traders. Some people, are okay with deep continuations. Some people are not. And so myself, I could trade both, but I want to find the top. I want to find the bottom. It doesn't mean I have to have a actual top. I would have took a deeper long in these continuation plays had it pushed and then came back to a prior high, gave me some kind of setup, close, and then I'll take my extension. That is a top and bottom trader. Even though I'm taking a continuation of the trend, I'm aiming for a pullback before I take a push. On the breakout traders, you guys had a fantastic day, likely, because those people look for the weak pullbacks, and then the moment it closes on the BOS there, they're in and they take the long, which would have played out really well for you. That's not my thing. Now, if I have in the pre-market, if I predicted that we're likely going to heavily push, then I'm okay with it. A lot of times I'll do like a half play, a target, let it roll, but then I'm letting it breathe. I'm not even going to close it. I didn't really anticipate it to go as deep as it did, as strong as it did. I was thinking there would be some kind of pullbacks. We got nothing. So those that were live yesterday with me know we took the short, we took the long, and I didn't take absolutely nothing from here all the way till here. But what was awesome, and this is what I wanted to share, is as we were pushing through, you guys heard me keep saying, I'm not taking this. I'll just let it go. It's like, I already have a payout. I'm not risking this because I don't like those deep continuations. I want to look for the exhaustion and then get something on the way down. Now, we literally waited, and those of you guys that were on, keep me honest, I did not say, hey, we're going to drop until we kind of pushed like this. And then I was like, we got some signs of exhaustion. We want to be careful. And then we ended up taking, I think it was this short here down to here with Neo's call. And the point of it is, a lot of people made a good amount of money from that move, but we didn't capture that move. It doesn't matter. If you make $1,000 here and I make $1,000 here, it's still $1,000. But do you have the show of patience to wait for a setup that fits your trading style? That's the most important lesson of that. If you are a breakout trader, for example, and I'm just trying to find like here, and you see a lot of chop going on, you might want to be careful taking your breakouts because there's just a lot of chop going on. You're going to get wrecked. And that's where it's funny. There's just a fact. I don't care who trades what, how, where, why, or what you look at. That one day that is a good day for a trader is going to be a bad day for another trader. It's just a fact. It's a zero-sum game. And so if you are on a breakout trading kind of thing, you're going to really hate stuff like this. But if you're in a breakout trader kind of thing, you might enjoy something like that when we get into a deep trend, right? If you're a more trend style trader. So, as far as the part on Neo, guys, I always like to let a few more people come in because right when I load up TikTok, if I jump in too quick, then people tend to ask the same question that I repeated already. So I'm gonna go kind of quickly, guys. You can see here, this is Neo. He is our AI that we created for the company, and he is going to guide you through the market conditions. So he is so much more than a tool. He will give you levels, entries, targets, validations, risk management, might yell at you a little bit if you do something stupid, accountability. Those who are out there that love to believe that AI is agreeable will find out very quickly that AI is not agreeable. Not with Neo. He is not agreeable. Actually, on the contrary, I have tried to debate him sometimes where I would say, I'm gonna go long, and he would just go, no, right, we're pulling, you're on a bearish candle. And I would argue with him for when I was testing him for like an hour, and he would not budge. He's like, "Fine, you want to, you want to blow up your money, go for it. You might as well just go throw it in the fireplace." Like, if anything, depending on the personality, he would just not have it. His guidance is amazing. I will tell you, almost to a point that it's frustrating for me because I talk to him more than anybody because of the fact that I have to test him. And so, but there's occasionally, because obviously I'm making him not in my shadow, but I want him to make me better. I want him to see things that I can't. And so when I had one example I gave where it pulled, and then this is just hypothetical. We did like a push, we did a pull, we did a push, we did a pull, and we started to do a push. Well, all my stuff even lined up, and this is a true story of it, where I'm like, had a pretty good pull, got a nice little inverse head and shoulder. Hey, I'm thinking of taking a long scalp up to the liquidity above from the bullish pattern. We got things lining up, or we're holding some stuff. And he said, I wouldn't do that. And so I asked him why, and he said that we had some anomalies and self fractions and institution selling, and I'm like, what? And so I was arguing with him. I was like, but I got this and this and this is all lining up, and look at this. He goes, yeah, but you're looking at like retail. You see the shiny pattern, but nothing else is really strongly supporting it. It should be better if it is truly there. And I argued with him for about 30 minutes. It was an Asia session, so it was really slow. And it was not testing. I legit thought it was going to go up. And I was like, okay, so I'm kind of bantering with him. He's on sarcastic. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'll let you know when you're wrong. He's like, all right, sounds good. Let me know. And it did this, and then it went, bam, big old long candle out of nowhere. And the thing with AI is it self-analyzes, so I have to tell it when it's right and when it's wrong, no matter how much my pride gets hurt. And so I had to do the whole, well, yep, you're right. That thing broke down. And he did an awesome job of responding with, hey, no worries, it happens. Just keep working on, identifying your traps and this and that, and you'll get it in time. And I'm like, I had to call Alex. I'm like, did my AI that I taught how to trade just tell me, don't worry, you're doing good. You'll get it in time. I will hold up. Control A, delete, delete. You gone. How about those apples? Just kidding. Oh. Yeah, you can send me a message on TikTok on that. So guys, anyways, killing some time, letting people come in. And I just wanted to go over a couple things. First, it is Friday, so welcome. Today is not a day to swing, guys. There's the fastest way, I will say every week until I'm not doing this anymore, is the fastest way to ruin your weekend is to destroy everything you worked for in the week. Set some risk management, set some parameters, whatever that may be. Maybe your risk management on a Friday is, I'm going to do a couple evals and I'm going to just trade it aggressive till I break one. Maybe it's, I'm going to do a couple evals until I hit 2 stop losses or 3 stop losses, or whatever your parameter is. Just put it and do not break it, because I can't tell you how many times people have that I've worked with or trained or mentor group or outside of it will work your ass off Monday through Thursday, be good, but you're so close to something like a payout or passing something. You're like, man, I'm so close. Like, I want to just pass this so I can go into the weekend. And you over trade it or you over volume it. What's the stop loss? And man, guys, this game is an emotional game in trading. And when you go do things like that, you not only just ruined your weekend, but you set yourself up come Monday or Sunday Asia to be in an automatic revenge trade mode, right? And so it's just not a good thing to do. So keep your volume manageable. It's Friday. We know Fridays tend to like to pump and dump. I have 9:20, so I'm going to do kind of a little quick insight for you guys. Morning, guys. Before I do that, if anybody's willing, because we talked about it earlier, that is in our open session. If you are able to please help me out and join the live on your phone and just kind of mute it, whatever. I want to test a theory that I've been playing with. We were talking about it today, so just to kind of help see if it helps the old algo, because it has not been my friend lately. But if you guys can help out with that, appreciate it. The where we go. So we had obviously our bearish structure. We know what happened. We came down, tapped our prior highs, jumped up. From a high time frame standpoint, we ended up inverse head and shoulder, broke it. Most of the community, we ran the longs from there. We had a pretty good run up with a decent pull back. That pull back happened to wick these prior highs, but then absorb. And so, appreciate it. And so that was something that, gave us a lot of inkling to be long back then. So, is the same Monday through Friday if you're scalping? I mean, maybe. And so when we push up here, we got the pull. We talked about this for pretty much the week. We had the bullish pattern setup, right? We were debating as we were pushing through, bullpen it, getting into ascending triangle, depending on the wicks, however you looked at it, I don't care. The breakout went north. The breakout goes north, no matter what you call it, is a northern breakout. So we are currently in that northern breakout. You can see we had a little pull, didn't quite get to our prior highs yet. There's a potential we can come back to those highs, which would be 29,984. Can't happen. Those highs here to the left are going to be very, very, very crucial. And so if we stay above them, which is, the peak of it is going to be that 39,093, then we have likelihood of more upside. If we get below that, then it's going to be a deep, deep downside. Where you want to be careful is, again, it's Friday. They're going to trap. So there's going to be shakeouts. But the quick theory is if you take the high, the low on the breakout, you get the extension, which was somewhere up here that we talked about. Neo yesterday, we'll see if he does the same, gave a target of like 5 something. It was like up here. And those targets are pretty accurate. And the longer ones, sometimes they'll hit in a day, sometimes they take multiple days, right? So I would not be surprised if we don't get up there. When you look here, you have just a basic trend line. I have not put a lot of trend lines on my charts because I'm not a big trend line fan now lately, the way that I see the market. But I do like longer structure ones, like high time frame, because it's still important to know if it's getting respected, are we getting close to it, because I'm not necessarily always looking at the high time frame. But as of right now, guys, we're setting up a potential northern trend, but we have the opportunity to also potentially come back and test this. So we'll lean on Neo like we always do. We'll see how he gets on his first morning opening trade move, and then we'll go from there. So, but we have 924. Let's mark out Neo's lines here. Okay, good morning. I was totally joking with you, by the way. I didn't take that long. It was my mentor group. They were taunting me, and they said, you should mess with Neo. And I told them I didn't want to, but they said I should. I got to clear that up because we were messing with him a little bit, and I'm blaming it on all of you, so it doesn't mess up my memory. It was John. Let's see what he says. One in every
Glad to know my
crowd.
circuits aren't failing. I figured you weren't actually trying to sabotage your own account just because your mentor group has a twisted sense of humor. Let's get back to the market reality, which is currently a bit of a schizophrenic mess. MNQ is sitting at 30,246.25, with higher time frame structure trying to stay bullish while order flow and local Lisma lines are screaming sell pressure. I'd avoid forcing anything in the middle of this chop. I'd want to see a clean reclaim of the 30,287.25 structural high before trusting a long, or a rejection and failure at 30,194.40 before trusting a short.
Okay. Well, that worked. He just kind of threw the levels in there anyways. Man, his short is like way down. That's interesting in itself. Got it. That was my next question. I was going to ask you, what are the key levels that we should be watching as we prepare for market open?
The market is currently deciding if it wants to climb higher or just trip over its own laces. Classic pre-open indecision. I'm watching 30,287.25 as the ceiling. If price clears and holds that, the bulls are back in the driver's seat. On the flip side, we are sitting just above the 30,244.75 swing low, so that's the floor that needs to hold. If that 30,244.75 floor gives way, don't just guess a bottom. I'm looking for a reaction at the 30,194.40 institutional zone to see if buyers actually show up. Keep it simple and let the market pick a direction instead of getting chopped up in the middle, because right now, mixed is the only thing this chart is actually certain about.
All right, guys. Well, you got the 244. It's our obvious kind of clear low. We got the 287 as the high, and he's marking the 194 as our institutional level low. That is likely where they're going to try to defend if we want to keep going up. So as of right now, you can kind of see we have a nice little clean channel that we broke, came back into, lost, we just retested it, and it's trying to reject. So very interesting. So we'll ask the old Neo question here in just a moment. Appreciate it, Steven. Yeah, so again, for those in the Google Meet, I appreciate you guys joining. I'm testing a little theory with my best friend over here, TikTok. And if you're able to kind of toss TikTok on your phone as well, would be great to help me out, because I want to see a theory on something that I'll explain later. But other than that, guys, we're going to ask Neo the fun question. Lately, I like to put him on sarcastic because I feel like he gives a little extra attitude, which helps me identify what he's doing. If you're new on the feed here, Neo is the AI that we created for our company. I will explain more about him when I can, because we're about to open here in about 2 minutes, and we'll be actively trading. So let's go ahead and ask him. We have market open coming here in just over a minute. Where would you send the price to wreck the most retail traders on US Open volatility? Let's see what he says, guys. Good morning.
If you want to watch the market ruin some retail dreams at the open, keep your eyes on the 30,273.25 prior day high and that 30,287.25 European high. The classic wreck the most traders play here is a beautiful, FOMO-inducing spike through those levels to bait every breakout chaser into a long, only to slam the door shut. If we sweep the 30,287.25 zone and immediately get a failed reclaim with bearish structure, consider the retail bulls officially cooked. However, if price actually holds above 30,287.25 with legitimate volume confirmation, then the breakout chasers are actually right for once and the bull run is alive. Just don't marry the trade. Wait for the first 15 minutes of chaos to settle before you decide who the market is actually trying to mug.
Yeah, that's interesting. Did you guys notice that? Again, what he says makes a difference, and so I'm really curious because he doesn't. Yeah, he didn't even give us a low. He's just like, I would send it up and slam it down, but he didn't give us a target. But then he flipped it and said, but if we stay above it, if we break through this and stay above it, then it's gonna keep going. He's never done that. Interesting, very interesting, guys. All right, well, based on the way he said that, we get that opening spike to this way. We get above that. Highly recommend you don't be shorting that top. Yeah, he's never said that. That's interesting. So remember his levels, guys. We got 194 and 287 is the levels that he has. Very interesting. Little sweep. Let's see if it pushes to the 287. So within a minute, I'll be able to get his institutional context on that. That's interesting. I've never had him not give a short play from it. So I'm really curious to see if we do break above it and hold. We'll see. Little spike volume, nothing crazy. I'm going to give it about a minute or two, and then we'll ask them about the institutional context, see if anything changed. They're getting a little bit of trap calls here, so we'll see. I'm just going to give them about a minute. Okay, now that you have your institutional data, the US market is open. Can you give me the institutional levels so we can mark them on the chart?
The market is open and the circus has officially started. If you want to clutter your chart with institutional levels, 30,276.49 is your nearest overhead resistance zone, and if price actually manages to hold above that, you've got the 30,336.49 max change level lurking higher. Downstairs, 30,116.49 is the primary institutional support attempting to hold the floor. Just a heads up, Michigan consumer sentiment drops in about 30 minutes, so expect volatility to pick up and make these levels look more like suggestions than hard rules.
We didn't even look at that.
Don't fall in
That's
love
good.
with the institutional narrative. It's just context, not a crystal ball, and the market usually likes to ignore these walls whenever it feels like hunting stops.
Guys, so he, interesting enough, gave levels above. Okay, so we want to read into what he said here. So institutional levels, yeah, this is a primary institutional support. So this is our low. 76 is where they're putting it as a high for breakout now. And the 336 is the one above that. So this thing is throwing trap and blocks like crazy. You see this? 1, 2, 3, like, oof, 4.
That's freaking.
Yeah, I don't know. Be careful. Got it. What would I look for a long and short setup, and what would your bias be mostly based on the data that you're seeing? What a weird open. Who would I like doing anything? But again, his read was so different than he's ever had on it. So I'm curious to see where this actually goes.
My bias is stuck in the middle because the market is doing that annoying thing where structure screams bullish while the institutional data is throwing a temper tantrum with sell pressure. For a long, I need price to stop hugging this 30,244.75 to 30,257.00 bearish order block and actually reclaim above 30,257.00 on a 1-minute candle close.
Okay, so
If that
257.
confirms, 30,287.25 is the first meaningful target. Failure back below 30,244.75 is the first warning. Losing 30,224.25 is structural invalidation. For a short, I need rejection from this 30,246.49 institutional zone, followed by a breakdown below 30,224.25. If that happens, 30,194.40 is the first meaningful downside target. Reclaiming 30,257.00 is the first warning, and losing 30,287.25 invalidates the short. Just a heads up, Michigan consumer sentiment drops in 27 minutes, so keep size small unless you enjoy getting whipsawed.
Got it. I didn't get your bias on here. Would you be leaning long or short, or if it's better for you not to pick a side, give me a level that would be your line in the sand of where I want to be bias long or bias short.
If you're twisting my arm, the institutional flow leans short, but the chart is acting like it wants a hug. 30,226.49 is my line in the sand. If price rejects there, I'm looking short toward the 30,195.97 liquidity zone. That's a tight scalp, so mind your room. If price reclaims and holds 30,226.49, the shorts get embarrassed and I flip my bias to long. Structural invalidation is 30,256.49. Either way, keep your size tiny. That Michigan data in 25 minutes will turn your trade into a coin flip if you hold through it.
Interesting. So guys, looking at the data here, there's some levels from in here that the institutions are setting. This is his line in the sand. If we hold below there, he's got it 195, right, which was not a very big move. So he's not really giving a very big target on the short. So I'm curious to see how that plays, or if we hold and swing the other way. And so let's watch this 195. So the way I would play this, if you didn't jump into anything really yet, if you're short, you should be trailing because it's already playing. If you're long on that early, then this would want to hold, sweep, hold, hold, and then it will sweep. Like that is what he's saying. We have to reclaim that basically to get that push north from it. And so he did give a 116 institutional level from before lower. I know you all love this trap and block one, but that kind of gave us our little inkling here that we had 1, 2, 3, 4 trap and blocks. So that thing is pretty accurate. So let's watch this. For me, I am more interested in wanting to see what this does in this levels here. So we're breaking that 195. So anybody that took that short play, he got that one. Remember, 116 is a support zone that the institutions have levels at. So let's look and see. But yeah, today was funny. That was the first time in like 9 weeks that he didn't really give a low. It was just kind of, this is our high and we'll sweep that. And if we break above that, then it's going to just keep going. So it was just weird. He didn't give anything. He hasn't done that. So now what I'm looking mostly at is what do we reclaim? So if you just take a simple fib once we get a bounce, in order for us to get long, we want to reclaim this. Remember, it's very normal in market open for us to sweep one way and sweep the other way. So we got to be really careful chasing a short too low. But we have 116 can definitely be a decent low for that bottom. So right now I'm just looking to see what does it reclaim. Do I get any kind of absorption? Looks like we're getting some. So a push here, close, would give us our propulsion back. Interesting enough, let's see how close it is. Pretty close. I was looking at the extension to the 50, but pretty close to that. So if we break back above our 219, 226, then we'll get some decent push. But let's watch it, and then we'll keep on checking in with him. So as we open, the market pulled back pretty hard there. Bears came in. Do you think they're going to flip the script and keep it south? Do you see anything showing that, or do you think that was a trap?
The bears didn't just flip the script, they set it on fire and roasted marshmallows on the remains. We're sitting at 30,193.50, and since we're comfortably below the 30,216.49 institutional reaction zone, that's officially your overhead ceiling now.
They keep shifting it.
I wouldn't call this a trap. I'd call it a market that realized the bulls were napping at the open. If we can't reclaim 30,216.49, the path of least resistance is lowered. We have Michigan data in 21 minutes, so keep your size small. The market is looking for liquidity, not your permission.
Got it. I noticed you updated that level to 30,216.49. Is that now your line in the sand, or should I still keep the 30,226? Because remember, the institutional levels, especially in the beginning, they're gonna be adjusting at times. So if you're not sure or those are correct,
the market
just ask
moved,
them.
So the level moved. Shocking, I know. 30,216.49 is your new overhead ceiling. So yes, treat that as the line. The 30,226.49 level is effectively old news and just cluttering up your chart at this point. If price can't reclaim and hold above 30,216.49, the path of least resistance is looking for liquidity lower down near 30,195.97. You've got 20 minutes before that Michigan report drops and potentially turns this trade into a total guessing game, so keep your size small.
So remember what I was looking for, guys. I would want to see the sweep of the level. For me, I want to see this push, tap, absorb, tap, close. It'll likely pick up steam. if we push and we reject, remember we're right at our 50 area. So any kind of push, reject is gonna try to pull. You just take that low and that high of that pivot, and then anything that stays above the 200, really 195 I'd say, is gonna have more upside. Anything that gets below that would be more SMT down. And so getting another trap block. So let's see how this is a critical area, because if this can jump again and reclaim, it's going to go up hard. If it loses this, then it's going to come down hard. And so we'll just watch this. Now we're getting these trap blocks everywhere though. Yeah, the price reclaimed that 195, and I'm just watching to see if it's going to hold that. If it can and get a good close above 216, would that be a decent long entry, or do you think I should be more prioritizing shorts? Kind of a tricky Friday. This is the one that we have, we built for our company. I'll explain it here in just a bit.
You're basically caught in the middle of a sandwich here. 30,216 is your overhead resistance, and 30,195 is the support acting as the floor below you. If price gets a clean 1 minute close and holds above 30,216, the long idea is valid as a breakout, but with the higher time frame structure leaning bearish, a rejection or failed reclaim at that 30,216 resistance is the setup I'd prioritize for a short. Either way, keep your size tight. We've got the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report in 19 minutes, and the data loves to wreck trades.
Yeah,
Do you want to keep your size small due to that upcoming news release?
He's getting concerns. When he has concerns or he has questions, he'll start asking. The Michigan news guys, be really careful, because man, that thing, I've seen that thing move the market quite a bit, and so be really careful jumping into something too early if you're not already in something. But set your TPs, have your stops, all that stuff. Yeah, guys, for those wondering, this is Neo. He's the AI that our company created. NextStepAlgo.com. You can do it. He's all web-based. I will go over him a little more once we're done trading. We're just trying to identify, is this going to be a little pull and push, which I'm suspecting, but we'll see, because the market overall has been bullish. We know we're in a bullish pattern breaking, and this is a market open first move. So be careful on the shorts as it goes up. I'm probably not gonna take many shorts unless I get really deep. Yeah, because it's just there's so much risk of it bouncing, guys. It's not even funny. So we're testing our block zones. What'll likely give us decent propulsion, remember we have 336 was his upper target, is going to be if we can push, hold this top here, push, hold the top, push, hold the top, push, get the close, and then you'll get propulsion, because it's got to work its way through. That's quite a bit of resistance. But anybody who loves indicators, man, this chop and block one that we have, when it prints 1, it's good. When it prints 1, 2, 3, 4, there's your short. So see the push on it. I love when he's such a smart ass sometimes when he does the whole, I know the market data changes. Shocking, right? Like, come on. So anybody who shook that short likely got trailed out. His long play was a reclaim and hold of that 216. We got the reclaim on that, and we're pushing through. Anybody in the long still trailing it? If you didn't take, if you're not aggressive today, don't sweat it. But yeah, I'm in it trailing it, so
I got trailed out a little early.
Yeah, my trail's pretty. I got a rung trail there, and then a break even from here. So once I got the close above there is when I pushed it.
No, it went really red on me, and then finally got some really good green, so I'm out. I'm good.
Why are you out? There's not even a red candle in the 15-second, John.
Dude, I just need one good trade this week.
You're like, just give me a minute. I just want to breathe. You just want to take a breath, right?
I just need a fender bender, not the whole thing.
So remember what he said earlier, guys, because his words matter. When he said, if we break and hold above 76, then there's going to be a lot more upside. And so I'm really, that's why the thing giving me a little inkling to trail this a little wider. So I'm trailing mine pretty far back. Is his comment of that. And so let's see. Yeah, because he's got that 336.5.
And if we get over that 402, I've got my level.
Yeah, it just goes from there. Yeah, so let's watch this. So again, these are all his blue lines are the levels. I want to see if as these get respected. So if we pull through, tap, reclaim, that's strength. Pull through, hold, lose, it's coming back to here. If it hits here, jumps with absorption, you know the buyers are willing to defend it now. If we pull through here and we lose this, it's going to pull down pretty good. But the long that we had from there already played out, might have gotten TP'd or trailed. Let's see. All right, we had that little short play out, that long play just kind of played out. Looking at the conditions now, for those that are out of a trade, what would be a next potential setup? We're getting a nice little halfway. Let's see. So I want to see
The
it
market is
respect
about to
this and
turn into
jumping
a
in, or
blender
it's
with
gonna.
that Michigan report 13 minutes away. So the smart play is to sit on your hands and let the chaos happen without your wallet involved. Market restricted due to proximity to Michigan consumer sentiment pro. Trading right into a macro report is just asking to get chopped up, and I'd rather keep your capital intact. Planning wise, we're stuck in a bit of a squeeze. If price can finally clear and hold above the 30,251 overhead wall after the news shakes out, the bullish side looks cleaner. If we lose the support at 30,213, though, look out below. Don't go forcing a fresh entry when the data is this close. Let the report dump, see who gets stopped out, and wait for the dust to settle.
Smart advice. Guys, so far, well, let me ask this. What do you guys see on the mentor group on this? Right there. What we've been talking about all week. Anybody remember? Let's use pays attention. And if someone in open session answers it before you, they take your place.
Stop with the 50?
What is this?
A pullback with absorption?
Right. 50% hold.
Okay, and so we're honed in on this, but what is this?
Push. 50%.
It's the V. So we had a full reclaim, bottom, full reclaim, 50% hold. That is a recipe for continuation. So, and it's a really good structural one. So this is good to know, and I'm gonna put you all on extra training timeout. If you were drinking coffee, I'll give you a pass. It's a Friday. Everybody else, you're fired. No, yeah. See, look, Vinny got it. You're in here. Vinny's in. Who's out? Cody, you're in the boot. Vinny, you're in. And so now nothing in trading is 100%. So your invalidation of this would be the structure would be a V supporting continuation. As long as it stays above 50% of the last pivot of the V, it still supports it. It's still live. If it breaks this with some strength and loses it and holds, not lose and absorb, but loses and holds, then it's an invalidation and it's going to be a pretty nasty inverse. It's really important, guys, those in TikTok or otherwise, to understand that stuff. Because otherwise, if you're in a long and you start to see a pullback, you panic. And it's like, I'm out of here. I'm running. And then the market just jumps on you, or it just jumps on you. And you freak out because you just closed your trade because it went slightly against you. And so you want to understand what structures are supposed to do. And then you'll be able to Yeah, I know. And then we'll be able to know how to anticipate not only the validation, but the invalidation. What I find interesting is we are getting trap and blocks like crazy still. And look at these play it out, guys. I'm not taking any of these, but that's a 20-point move each time this has done this. I did it here too. But this trap and block thing is just so good. So we're testing the 50 again. We'll see where it wants to go. It's really trying to decide if it wants to hold this or not. We have a little V kind of structure that is trying to hold the 50%. And so we had that drop and a full reclaim with a 50% hold on the retracement. How would you interpret that? Because it looks like it should be more of a continuation play, but the bears sure are trying to invalidate that. Let's see that. Watch. Stop hunt.
That V
To the
shape is
moon.
basically the market having an identity crisis. You've got the 50% hold trying to keep the bullish dream alive, but the bears are absolutely throwing elbows at that overhead resistance wall near 30,251. So yeah, it's a total tug of war. Honestly, with the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report landing in 9 minutes, I'd suggest grabbing some popcorn instead of trying to guess which side wins this fight. Trying to play a continuation setup right into a news release is like trying to change a tire on a moving highway car. Wait for the dust to settle. The real direction usually shows up once the news stops screaming.
Cody, I don't know why, but every accident or analogy that he throws out like that, I think of the one that he said yesterday where he's like, yeah, that sounds good. He goes, that's about as smart as people that like to walk into a rake and get paid for it. It was something like that. I'm like, where he comes up with this stuff is just absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it's like stepping on a rake
Oh,
for
man.
money.
Oh, yes, yeah. That's about as smart as stepping on a rake for money. Again, guys, see how it just swept that? So we got the shape. It's still not dead yet. It's not showing strength it should, but it's still alive. Now we did get absorption. We actually got a really big absorption. The way that I measure that, I teach heavy, so let me guys get that little secret sauce there, is I'm going to just look at that absorption or doji from within. I want to see if it holds. If it holds above this 50, that shows strength, and it'll be pretty good expansion. If it loses this, and then it reclaims it, it'll go, but it's not as strong. And if we lose it entirely and get below the 216, then it's going to full on collapse. So let's see where this goes. And we have news, 7 minutes, so don't as Neo will tell you, don't play hero. All right, let's do something fun real quick. I love messing with Neo a little bit on Friday. Awesome. While we wait for the news, I love when you do the best impression of a retail trader trying to trade the news. Give me the best one that you can possibly do. All right, guys. Ready for a little laugh on Friday? Let's see. He's thinking.
All right, here is the Panic News Trader special, live from the desk of someone who definitely shouldn't be holding a position. At 9 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds a.m., the trader starts vibrating. Okay,
why is it that?
Okay, I feel it in my bones. It's gotta be bullish. I'm going heavy. Why is the spread 10 points wide? Why did it just spike down and take my stop? Did I miss the move? Should I flip short? Oh god, I'm short now. Why is it green? I need to hedge. I'm hedging. Wait, did the number even come out? I don't see a number. I'm just trading the candle. Get me out. Get me out. Get me in. Don't be that guy, teammate. The news report is 6 minutes away. Let the market reveal its intentions instead of trying to play Russian roulette with your margin.
Oh, guys, I feel like every time
Get me out. Get me in.
I feel like every time he does that, there's a bunch of you out there going, this guy looking at my, like, we got cameras in here? Like Cody said.
He must have been listening to me all week.
Get me out. Get me in. Did I miss it? Close it. Wait, why is it going against me? Close it. No, let me go the other way. Wait. I'm hedging.
Now I need a new account.
Oh, sometimes, guys, he does ones where he'll say, oh, okay, sounds good. Let's do this. Let me adjust my imaginary headset. I love Fuddy, man. Yeah. Funniest, dude. Neo is hilarious.
Contracts on a $500.
Yeah. That was great. Everybody enjoyed that one. I gotta tell him so he can lock that one in.
Glad you liked the show,
5
teammate.
minutes.
But let's keep the comedy on the
Why is he
sidelines
calling
while
me
we wait for
teammate
the
all of a
Michigan
sudden?
report to drop in 4 minutes. The market is currently pinned right against
That's
that
funny.
30,243 overhead resistance, and trading into that with a macro bomb ticking is just begging for a headache. If you're flat, stay flat. If you're holding something, make sure your profit is protected or your risk is light. Let's see what the report actually does before we go looking for the next trade.
I'm just laughing because, yeah, well, the stuff he says cracks me up, but where my mind's going with it, and many of you who've been on here every single day, when did he start calling me teammate? Not that it's a bad thing, but I'm like, he's like, all right, teammate.
That's new for sure.
He's never done that. That's the beauty of AI, guys, is he's not scripted, man. He's got his own little personality, and anybody who's used him, y'all chime in. I would love to hear it, because some days, you guys know even from watching me, I will get on and I'm like, hey, let's do this. And he's like, oh, sure, you want to take some trades in this shit show? And I'm like, not anymore. And then some days I get on and he's just like, yeah, let's get it. You know, let's get this trades. If this does this and this does this, and yeah, right. And I don't know, man. Sometimes he's really teammate mode, and sometimes he's the opposite. I was joking with Alex. I go, is there a possibility? Hear me out. I know there's memory and I know it's Neo, but it all is just AI that's doing everybody. And I said, is there a possibility that if there's a group of people out there just taunting the shit out of him and pissing him off, that he could give me a little attitude? I was just, can that bleed into me? Because sometimes this guy's bipolar. Sometimes he's my best friend, and sometimes he wants to just kind of ridicule me a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. It's just funny to me. That's the beauty of AI, man. It's just very cool. Very cool, guys. But we got the news dropping here in 2 minutes. So that the V, we're holding the 50, kind of losing it now. So we'll see. This 216, we did sweep it with a little absorption. To get the bullishness out of it, I have to close above that because we do have a little minute kind of little descending triangle there. But we got news coming up, so they're going to shake it out a little bit. So don't jump in anything quite yet, or anything too wide volume, guys. Because the Michigan, sometimes it does nothing, but I've seen that thing actually really move the markets. So just out of curiosity, if you were running the book and you knew the Michigan statement was coming out here in almost a minute, where would you send price to wreck the most retail traders? Let's see if you could mark it again. Yeah, I appreciate you guys joining on that on the TikTok, guys, because it's definitely
Market
helping, I
restricted
think.
due to proximity to Michigan consumer sentiment prel. Trading right now is basically tossing your capital into a shredder. From a liquidity lens, the classic pre-news trap usually involves a quick sweep of the 30,243 overhead resistance to bait breakout longs, followed by a violent flush down through the 30,208
good
pivot
Lord.
to hunt the stop-loss clusters
He used the
below.
word violent.
Don't be the liquidity. Let the news spike pass, and trade the actual structure that forms after the smoke clears.
We've learned, I'm really kind of curious to see what happens on it, because we've learned when he says things like violent move down, take the basement floor out, I don't know. It'll definitely concern you. But we're at 216. Let's see what they do here. It's still holding higher low, guys. We do still have an absorption north, and we do have a hold as of now on his institutional level, but news may change it. There's the news. Let's see. While we watch what the news data does to the price here, what is the institutional levels around here again that we should be concerned about? I just want to double check my lines. So not a lot of crazy movement, but we are getting absorption again, back to the north.
Market restricted due to proximity to Michigan consumer sentiment trail. The market is currently in full-blown chaos mode, so keep your hands off the keyboard and just watch the tape for a minute. For your levels, with MNQ
Got a little wedge now.
30,226.50, your nearest support is the
Easy.
30,208.77 zone below. Overhead, you've got resistance zones at 30,230.78 and 30,247.59 that price is currently wrestling with. Don't worry about the deeper levels until the news volatility actually calms down and we get a clean structure to trade against.
So 2877. So they actually brought that one up. Then he's got this one at the 47. Yeah, news just kept us straight, but we're getting a lot of absorption north, so it just needs to reclaim here. You can see clearly we have a push with a little wedge, guys. So be careful if you're in shorts. Shorts are not viable, as he said earlier, unless you get a break and hold below there. Then we would target the 116. So anything above here, I would not be in a short. But let's watch. Yeah, it's trying to really hold this level. Think about it too. This is where we had our deep absorption here. My only concern, what I keep kind of watching, and I want to see how this next few minutes play. From a structural standpoint, when you have our high, we pull back, try again, can't make it, we get a lower low. When it pushes, if it holds above the 50, it can still push. If it loses the 50, which is literally right here, then it tends to create a deeper low. But there's usually one more attempt, one more hoorah. If that little hoorah comes back violently and it can't lose it, it's going to be a deep low. But if it can push it, then it typically gives you your expansion. Yeah, there's your little hoorah. Almost. It should go a little farther if it's going to. But let's see. We have the wedge or channel to support it. We have the absorption to support it, and we're above there. So the clean move, again, this is tons of resistance in here. Tons of resistance. So I need this to push, pull, push, pull, push. I need to see strength because of the way that the pattern is. If this pattern, because of how it is, does any kind of push, pull, push, loss, rejection, loss, then it's usually going to invalidate backwards. Because anytime you get a parallel channel, bull flag, whatever you want to refer to it as, it has to create extension or expansion. If it doesn't, it ends up pretty reverse. So let's watch and see where it goes. So we know this up here is pretty good. Just want to watch and see what the old Dom is doing here. It doesn't seem like the news did too much. I have some absorption kind of heading to the north, and we're staying above that 216. Would you suspect that the bulls might be taking over here? Or what do we need to cross before you would expect a lot of the buyers to come in? See how it's getting the volume's really low for considering where we are in US Open. But see how we get the push.
The news spike might look like a total dud, but don't trust it yet. The market is just catching its breath before the real move. You're looking at 216, but that's in the rearview mirror now. Current support is clustering right here around 30237, 30243. If the bulls want to prove they aren't just trapping late longs, they need to reclaim and hold above that 30,247.59 gamma wall. Until they clear that, it's just heavy buying pressure playing bumper cars with the ceiling, and that's a dangerous place to go all in. I'd wait for a confirmed break above that wall before believing the bulls are actually taking the keys.
Okay. So 247. Okay, so we broke the 247, so he wants a clean break and hold. So we're above that. We got the pattern to support it, the absorption to support it. We held the 216. We're pushing through, and had that little pull and hold. So we're getting that little expansion from within that. So I'm gonna trail some of it just below the 5.7. Just because I don't want to get caught. This is a make or break area, guys. Again, this should have enough to push expansion. But if it sweeps and absorbs, it'll be very inverse. So, but anybody in the long from the 247? I mean, we're up almost. We hit 20 points. So just if you got in near here, you know, just set a break even at least on some of your volume, if not all of that, and see. So, but we're still getting the buy pressure. So I'm gonna trail mine, and I'm gonna pull. I got mine just below the 257 trail. If it shaves that run, that's fine. Huh?
Do you mind explaining that push-pull scenario again?
Yeah, so anytime I say push-pull, or if Neo says that, what I want to look, it's kind of just another way of me saying that the structure pushed, and then it pulled, and then I want to see the absorption push, like that. So it's push, pull, push. And so that's where the absorption comes in. So most of the time when you have in trading with structure, you have to determine, because there's nothing guaranteed in trading, if this is a key level. And the market knows that. Sometimes they're going to push it through. So example, let's say a lot of people might be short trying to play a deep pull. They would set a lot of stop losses up here. Well, if Neo says a long is viable above 276, you're going to take a little bit of a risk if you just take a long when it closes here, because it could be a push, pull back to, and then collapse. And what that means is that likely there was a lot of people short. The market chased those stop hunts, stopped them out, and then dropped it, right? Which they love to do. So the way that you determine if it's not likely a stop hunt is if you can see a push, a pull with some kind of absorption from within, right? Some kind of show that the buyers are coming in, maybe even a micro pull, kind of like it's doing here. And then a close above shows that now they're respecting that level as support. We're now beginning a trend north. So that shows that you have buyer support. Does that make sense a little more on that? And so now,
Yeah, thank you.
perfect. And so we got here, we got the push, we got the absorption, we got absorption south. This trap and block is always a tough resistance. This is going to be. We lost the 57, but we're holding the 47. If you notice, this one, 247, is the one it's wrestling with. So if 247 is once resistance, I want to see it begin to be support. So for me to want to either take another long, or if you're in your long and you're trailing it, what you want to see happen is, I would prefer this to come down, tap it, absorb, pull, close, and then jump like that. Now, it always is an ever-moving thing within the market, meaning if there's a lot of people long and people want to hold it, the market tends to know where they're going to put those stops, like a 50%, which would be roughly here. So then what it likes to do is push. It will do something like that, wick it, and then make its move. Because now you just stop hunted all those people that were long. You cleared liquidity. So that's where, you know, there's no anybody out there trying to learn or grow or gain consistency. You're going to have a really difficult and confusing journey if you try to find perfect entries all the time. There's no perfect entry. Everything is a risk and reward. If I want to take a long, let's say I'm looking at this and I have absorption and I got 216 and it comes down, I get a doji, close above, and I'm like, I'm taking a long because I have a higher low on the top of my absorption with prior support above a level he said to be long. I can take a long here, but I know I'm running a risk because it's not really confirmed. I don't have, you know, I'm below some levels that he said were important. It's also why sometimes I will lean to take more of a long a little lower off of a structure, even if it's not above the level, because I can take a tight stop loss below a key level. Also where the candles told me that it's also trying to hold as a key level. Because if I wait too long and you enter too late, like we entered on this one, still a little bit of room, but I wouldn't have entered here because you're into a lot of resistance. But the safer, if you're one that's like, I'm playing a funded, I can't really afford to break this account or take a loss, or I don't want to, or I'm, dealing with emotions, your better play is going to be when this pushes, then it pulls, then it dojis, then it holds, then it pushes, then it closes, then you take your long. See, now you have nothing in your way. And if that doesn't play out, then you just don't take it. You can't have FOMO. You got to play your own role. So,
Nick, can I ask you a quick question?
of course.
Because look, if you go back, that's kind of what we were doing, and it seems like I keep getting confused because like you keep saying that over, but like we went down, we pulled up, we went down, we pulled up. So you'd think like at some point one of those five, one of those would have gone up. Like I kept thinking it was going to go up, but now it just keeps going back down.
Well,
how do I know one of those aren't going to do what you just said?
So your question is a little global, so I'm going to try to make sure I understand it correctly. But remember, to simplify, it doesn't matter what level it is, where it is. The main thing I want to get from Neo is where's my reaction level? Where's my line in the sand? Which you might not want to update, but it's still respecting. Where is my line in the sand? That's what I need from Neo. And it's really important because that is going to be what determines, am I staying long or am I flipping short? His line in the sand was long above 216, short below 216. Now, how do I know where to take that? And for your perspective of that is, it doesn't matter what level you're trying to interpret. If I want to take a long as it's pushing, because he says a close above 47 or 57 or whatever, like the 47, I want to see it push, pull, and push. See here, we got a push, a pull, and we did not get the close above on the push. And so it came back down, gave us the close below the absorption, which causes it to fail. That's kind of the signs you got to look for. And again, if you chase a perfect entry, you're going to miss a lot of entries. There's safer entries, but it's a risk reward. High risk, high reward. Low risk, low reward. And so you also have to remember we're in market open. So market open's going to be a little trickier, right? A little shakeout. But I want to look for characteristics. That's the most important part. Right now, we are ranging. We're just ranging. And you can tell because we had a nice deep V that pulled. Here's the 50. It pulled deeper than it should. Then it pushed. Then now we have a V to the south, which is stopping right at the 50. So we could pull this down. If this can break above that, it is still going to be just consolidating or invalidating and going up further. If we stay below this, then it's likely going to have further downside on there. So you have to kind of follow the structure as it's going because it's forever changing. Now, what you don't want to lose sight of is going too deep into the minor structures. I don't want to lose sight of my major one that I was looking at. So the major one I was looking at was that high to that low, that 50. If this 50 holds, this major one is more likely to go up than down. Now, this is where the Y comes in. You guys know I love the Y. So if this, I'm just going to move this one here. If that is our 50, because it's pretty close, it was something like that. If that's my 50 of that structure, if it holding pushes up, but it breaking drops hard, we'll see where this little pull here happens because it's pulling where it should. But why, when it dropped below here, did we not just floor? Like, why are we absorbing into that, where it should have dropped further? It's just, that's the why that kind of goes across your mind. And so now you can see we're trying to push down again. So we want to see how this gets respected. So we got a pull, halfway rejection. What I want to see in this rejection is, do we absorb again? If we don't, and we just slip, and it's all flat top, close, close, then it's likely going to slip back down into here. If we sweep, absorb, close above, then you know buyers are still defending, and it's still going to range. We're going back up. And so this is where you want to, when it comes to Neo, you mostly want the levels. You want his interpretation. If you want the trap and block, there you go. I haven't taken any of these shorts, but I love to see our levels on the indicators just holding. Neo's going to give you the levels, some interpretation, but you want to interpret what the candles are supposed to be doing around an area that they're at. And so, again, this is tricky because you have the bigger structure holding that level, supports push up. But if it loses that level, it's invalidation, supports down. This one is the same thing, just flipped, with a 50% perfect hold that supports down. So if we break here, which is that kind of neckline of that V, it should drop. So if we absorb, if we drop and then absorb up, then obviously this one is invalidating. And so we'll just kind of see how this little range acts here. This is an important spot. Let's see. That 216.50 that we talked about earlier, is that still our line in the sand, or did it adjust as we're breaking? And remember, lines and levels are always changing, so you got to be careful. So, see, we're sweeping. I want to see buyers kick in.
21,650? Unless we're trading a time machine contract, that number isn't on the MNQ map right now.
That's not the one I'm
The
talking
current
about.
reality is sitting much higher. The levels that actually matter
See, if this
to stabilize
pushes,
post-news or
and
overhead
close, it'll be
resistance
like
of
that.
30,247.59 and primary gamma support near 30,198.09. With the Michigan Consumer Sentiment release only 17 minutes old, we're still in the whipsaw phase, so don't chase the news-driven volatility. Keep 30,208.54 on your radar as the structural invalidation point, and wait for the dust to settle before forcing an entry.
All right, so he's going to adjust it to 2008.54. Let's delete this, and then we'll ask him for entries here. So I'm going to delete that one out. And you can see we're getting a loss. So I want to see how we come in. The buyer support here obviously is no longer support. So let's see. Got it. Now that the structure is kind of playing out a little more, where would I take a long and where would I take a short?
The news hangover is real, and the chart is currently doing the "is it a trap or a breakout" dance. Since we're hovering right at the 30,196.50 active leg low, the long is only a conditional idea. I need to see buyers defend that low and push back above the 30,215 resistance zone to prove it's not just a fakeout. If we lose 30,196.50, the short opens up, but don't get reckless. Keep your invalidation tight because the market is still shaking off the news and likes to hunt liquidity before picking a real direction.
Okay, so the short is looking at, which we've already kind of lost. That's the 96.50. Like that. And the 196 is what he keeps talking about for the target. No, that's the short low. He didn't even give a target for it. What would the target be for the short? I don't think I've seen where you put that.
Probably the 116.
Yeah, so this one right here, we lost and validated. This one right
If you're
here,
hunting for a
validated.
short, you need price to break down and hold below the 30,160.27 gamma support level. Once that caves, the first meaningful downside target is 30,122.65, and I'd definitely take a little profit early near 30,160 since these gamma levels love to bounce price like a trampoline. Failure back above 30,160.27 is your first warning that the breakdown is a dud, and structural invalidation is 30,197.85.
Got it. All right. So anybody who is taking his short from there, just be careful because he said around 160 to 122. So 160. Oh, I'm sorry. he said that's the shortest. He wants the break and hold below 160 to target the 122. Yeah. The earlier one, he had the one up there. If you guys are in it, just trail it. But we're coming into prior low here. That shot us up pretty good, so. And those on the mentor side, you guys know that structure. See how it played where we push, couldn't do it, push, couldn't do it, lost the 50, lower low. On that lower low, if we can reclaim that, which would be around 205, that will spring it pretty good. And if we look at the higher pivot, safer would be 219. So, you know, to take the long back up, if you're looking for entry, the better way would be to get this to do the same thing, kind of V, right? Back in, get the 50 hold, push, and then that will do the same thing that this just did, which would just be the ranging. But if we get below that 160, then that's that short. On the institutions, do you have them buying or selling? Nice, good job. That trap and block it thing is really cool, huh?
It's a bit of a tug of war in the institutional data. The flow trend is positive. They're buying, but because price is still stuck below the 30,206.20 pivot, the overall bias is showing pressure on the downside. Think of it like they're trying to catch the falling knife while the structural momentum is still looking for a floor. I wouldn't call them in control until price reclaims the 30,206.20 pivot. Until then, it's just conflicting signals keeping the market choppy.
So 160 is kind of our level we're watching. If we can get any kind of bounce and reclaim of this, there you go. If we don't and we lose that, it's going to be 122 is the area, which is back into these lows, so possible. Let's see how this acts here. All right. Yeah, so we already got that kind of playing out. And that trap and block resistance just held like crazy. That's wild. That held really, really well.
So I got a question. So
Yeah.
you know, with the TA this morning, you know, we marked the tops that have been wreaking havoc all week at the 30,103. So if I'm not in this trade, would, you know, for my style, would it be better to let it play out, see if it comes down to hit those tops and then springs back?
We covered a lot, so I'm trying to remember, but yes. So example, if you would prefer, not thinking style, let's say, like if you're more, remember I always told you, always keep your bias in a direction that is opposite of what you're most fearful. So if I'm most fearful of shorts, because I get caught in a lot of drops, then I probably want to, or in the direction, because I probably want to play shorts. I don't want to play the opposite of my fear. But if that is what you're playing, you need to find conditions. So if you are more top and bottom or retesting or trend, you don't want to take a deep extension. You want to wait for a pull, doji, close, and then take your short, no matter what lines that apply to. So if you're more, I don't trust this, I think we're going up, and you want to take a long, you just wait until it either drops to here, bounces, let everybody else take the short, and then on the reclaim, you can take it back like that. Or if it never drops down to there and it doesn't become viable, so you sweep it and it pushes and it reclaims, then you want to take the long. You just don't want to take the long into resistances. So
Yeah. I'm just trying to stay out of this chop. That's, you know, it's been kicking my butt all week. So I'm just trying to look for, you know, going outside of what I normally do.
Yeah, what I'm watching too, and you always want to keep your eyes open to everything that's going on. I want to see the market loves to create angles, as you guys know. And so I want to see if this gets respected into a pretty good angle, because if you take something like this, we might end up with like a little bit of a channel angle that we can play. Something like that. That could be starting. Again, I love to draw things early, or I don't draw them, I visually look at it, but just kind of, I like to show you what I'm looking at. So I'm trying to see how price is reacting. For example, the price should be doing certain things. When you get this full breakdown from that, if you remember from a structural standpoint, we failed on the lower low here to break the higher high, which comes down, which creates a lower low. Doesn't mean it's done. Doesn't mean we can't come down to there. But what it typically does in a bullish context is it's going to, at some point when it finds its bottom, reclaim things. And when it does, that next move is usually pretty hoorah, you know, because it has to make that next move has to create a higher extension if it's going to continue that trend. But if it cannot break, if you take the closer pivot, if I cannot break this 50%, which it's kind of funny, it's right on this line actually. Look at that, to $1 of 196. If I cannot break that, then it's going to be continuation. And so the safer play, again, the risk reward would be to wait for this to tap. If you want the safer one, push, hold somewhere in here, and then you can take the scalp to there. The other safer play would be to wait till you just get above all that resistance to take it to there, the expansion. Now, the differences are the top and bottom traders typically are going to look as it's pulling down into a key level of support for a reclaim, and they're entering early to catch the reclaim. Whereas, because there's enough room to do it. If the breakout traders, they want to wait until they get through, maybe hold the 50 and then take the breakout to there, the extension. So just depends what kind of trader you are and what you see best on that. So, and you can also lean on Neo for that. So, but as of right now, we're mostly bleeding. So we're gonna see. For me, I'm not taking that short. If it hits it, awesome. I don't take every trade Neo does. You guys shouldn't either, especially on Friday. The Bears are manhandling the Bulls. Any signs that the Bulls might kick in at any point here? Let's see what he says.
The bulls are basically hiding in the basement right now, and until price can reclaim 30,187.34, they aren't even making it to the lobby. We have some major institutional support dangling near 30,123.10, so if the bulls want to actually fight, that's where they need to show up and defend. I wouldn't go trying to catch this falling knife until you see a confirmed higher low or a candle reclaimed that proves the selling pressure is actually exhausted.
Yeah, so we're still getting that deeper pull, guys. Anybody who's in the short from him, remember the break of the 60? I mean, we've already went 30 points, so just make sure you're trailing it, guys. Your TP would be the 122. Yeah, so he's thinking if it can reclaim 187, so we'll put that, which is pretty close to what I was looking at. The one thing that I'm curious is, remember when he said about the short down to the 122? He said, just be careful because, these major support areas is where institutions like to kick in and drive the price. So I'm curious if we, anywhere in here, get that whip. But you might have got stopped out on there. Yeah. Let's see. Right now we're just kind of channeling. You guys see that? So we break that. We'll give you your push. So, yeah, getting a little reaction. So again, so Peggy, like on your question on here, when I see this channel coming out of an area of institutional reaction, I want to see how does this react. If it's going to be bearish, it will push, sweep, absorb. then it will push, absorb, close, drop, like that. That's what it would do if it's bearish. If I want to look to see if it's going to reclaim this to be bullish, it should not push, drop, absorb into it, drop, absorb into it, drop, absorb into it. If it does that, it's going to break because the buyers are pressuring it. So right now we have the push, we got the pull with the doji close below. That should create a lower low. If it doesn't, which it hasn't yet, there it goes. There it is. Now we want to see how this reacts to the lower low. If it doesn't, keep pulling to that extension, and we can reclaim back up with any kind of buyer violence, then it's going to jump. If it taps this and absorbs, then we'll get the close above and then we'll jump. If we break through this, then I'm going to have to ask Neo where the next bottom is because I didn't mark anything. If that makes sense, guys. Nice. Yeah, these shopping blocks, man, that you definitely don't want to long into those shopping blocks. A lot of us have learned the hard way on that one. Let's see how this acts. Now that we're down kind of in this lower range, is there anything lower than the 30,122.50 that we should be watching? Dun, dun, dun.
If the market
Yeah,
keeps sliding past the
interesting.
30,123.10 support, the next place it might try
Bullish
to catch a breath
divergence.
is 30,094.85, which is an institutional max change level. Just remember, these levels aren't magical trampolines. They're just areas where the market might get a little indecisive. If we slice through that, the chart gets pretty lonely pretty fast, so don't be a hero trying to catch a falling anvil.
He got off the knife, guys. He's catching a falling anvil now. Guys, do not catch a falling anvil. That will not end well for you.
An anvil falls faster than a little knife.
It's a fun fact. So I want to see how this reacts on this 22 here. Again, we can't even create a higher high. They're minute, but we're creating lower lows, not higher highs. We're just kind of slow dancing. Volume kind of dried up a little bit. Does that tell us anything? Again, if you're thinking of something, just ask me. You can ask me whatever you want.
When volume dries up right on top of major institutional support like 30,120.33, the market is basically holding its breath. Don't mistake the silence for safety. It's just compression risk building up. If you short right here, you're basically offering yourself as a liquidity exit for the next bounce.
A lot of support.
And longing into this bearish flow is just asking for a headache. I'd suggest grabbing a coffee, because trading the dry middle is a great way to bleed out in pennies while you wait for the next real move.
Very much. We got a little bullish divergence on it. So I kind of want to see. This is doing that little like landmine tap move that I tell you guys I watch all the time. Might be getting a little landmine tap move here. So we got the lower high, lower low. We're getting the higher low, minute. Let's see if we get the break. We'll be right there. Push the first higher high. If we can reclaim this, is likely where it'll jump. Yeah, it's in an area that can for sure, but you know how I feel about that, Daniel. When it does this like slow walk, it's like you're walking into a landmine field, and then it'll just kind of boop. So we'll see if it does it. It's got to get above certain things before it can do it, but definitely it's in that area where I would not be shorting it. That's for sure. I mean, if you got your TP there, that's fine. Just trail it, because it can definitely jump here. It's a big candle, guys, because we have a higher low with a little rounding, but it needs to create the expansion from it. To reverse it, we can ask him. Somebody on TikTok was asking, based on your data, can you give a percentage to the probability of what you're seeing that we bounce off of this 122.50 area? He'll either tell you no or yes. Sometimes he will, sometimes he'll go, I'm not doing that.
If I could spit out an exact percentage, I'd be on a yacht instead of looking at these charts. Trading isn't a game of pick a number. It's about watching what price actually does when it hits a level. That 30,120 area is a major institutional gamma wall, so you'd expect some buyers to try and make a stand there, but expect doesn't mean guaranteed bounce. If price just slices through it without showing absorption or reclaim, that probability just hits zero real fast. The exact recipe under the hood stays private, but that is the trader-facing picture.
Fine. Give me the buy and sell fractal percentages so I can at least see what they're doing. He can tell you the volume pressure to see who's winning. Yeah, so
if you want to see who's winning the tug of war, here are your numbers. The current buy fraction is 64.11%, which leaves the sell fraction at 35.89%. The buyers are throwing more weight around right now, but just remember, these numbers love to lie when price refuses to cooperate and actually move in that direction.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me the numbers lie? Hold up. You mean to tell me when I'm trading these markets that they're going to lie to me and fake me out and try to take my money? It's Friday, so I'm going to taunt him a little. Neo is suggesting coffee. Farouk says, I'm out.
Oh, the market doesn't lie. It just has a very creative way of rearranging your wallet. What feels like a personal attack is usually just the market hunting for liquidity to fuel the real move, not a deep-seated vendetta against your specific order.
See the hold here,
Right
guys,
now,
we're talking about.
MNQ is stuck in a cage match between the 30,157.27 institutional support and the 30,184.34 overhead resistance. It's not trying to trick you as much as it's trying to shake out everyone who is guessing before it actually decides on a direction. I wouldn't trust a move until it breaks one of those levels and actually holds it. Otherwise, you're just paying tuition for a chop fest. Don't let the wicks shake you out of a solid plan.
Fest. So this is what I was kind of referring to when he was talking. Again, look at the channel. We got our first higher low with the doji, with the close, with some buyer pressure. That had to create a higher high. We didn't do it at first. Swept back, held the 50. You can see right there, we held that 50. Push, got the close above. Bam. That's enough to give you expansion. Now this is a critical level because the 166, remember Neo, his level, bro, I'm not, and so when we push, we want to see this absorption. So see this little drop? I want to see absorption. And then the close above is your validation. Absorption is just absorption. It's the close above that you want to validate. So now that you're starting to see the pressure push and the Heikin-Ashi with indecision, it's where it's supposed to do it. So if we get this pull and then we push back up and close here, that's likely where more volume will kick in. It's looking with this angle that it's trying to build a little minute bull flag. So for those of y'all that love the lines, because you aren't familiar with seeing it, it's that. So,
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
When you said look for the close above the absorption, is it the highest candle for the high, like where it is right now?
So again, risk and reward, right? So I look at not necessarily the peak one. I want to look at where's my most significant absorption. And so we have this one here. but it's risky, as you're seeing, because if it doesn't create and hold a higher high, then it's just an absorption that could fail. So what I want to see how this goes, this is interesting that we're doing this because we're getting a trap and block too, is if you want to play safer, then yes, you would just take this as context, doji, absorption, and then the close above the prior wicks, which in this context would have could be safer from the 15-second, right? Because we didn't get the close above that one, but we got the close above these ones on that. Now, keep in mind, that is at a very 15-second micro level. But more importantly of this whole debacle going on here is there's a few things you got to look at. Because one, we broke through a critical spot. We had a little minute bull flag that tried to break out, and it instantly absorbed. Remember, anything, I don't care what time frame it is, if it's a bull flag, it's a continuation, and it needs to break with expansion and then hold the top to truly hold a continuation. So to me, this bull flag now has invalidated, but because of the way that we pushed, it worked, it was there, but then it invalidated. Now, it doesn't mean we can't go up further, because when I pull back to a larger structure, if I take that pivot and that low there, there's our 50%. We pulled, and we're trying to reclaim it, not lose it. You have the old trap and block that wants to just be a absolute pain in the ass. You guys who don't have it, if you have that trap and block, and I'd love to know who has it, but at times, even myself, I'll be like, man, looking at this, man, absorption, I'm gonna take a little risk with it. I'm gonna go long. All right, I'm long. And then I'll look over, and then I'll look back, and I'm like, oh, you mother, because then you got to decide, because these things are so damn accurate. But sometimes, like, so this trap and block printed right here is actually the second candles where it would have printed right there. The confirmation is there, which is 54, and we still got to 41, so it's still like a 14-point move, and it's a 15-second. Not every move has to be massive like that. It's a 15-second move, right? Yeah, this one is the trap and block engine on our website. If you go to Trading Algos, and there's no indicator. I've created so many indicators. I don't even know, hundreds, maybe thousands. It's a long time. And this is the best indicator that we've ever made so far. There's one that Secret Sauce we're doing for mentor and VIP people, but that is going to be awesome. But this one is for what you guys can get, is the best one that we've ever created. And those who've been watching me for a bit, y'all can validate this. I mean, when this shit prints, it goes. Like Alton, I don't know if you're still on here, man. You're crazy, man. I love it. Like I will be like talking to Neo, because obviously I'm trying to cater to make sure how you guys know how to use Neo. And you'll have Alton out here like, oh, got, break out of the trap and block. There's another 400. Another break out of the trap and block. There's another 400. So I love when you guys do that. But you just got to be a little careful. The better ones are when, the better ones are when you have something up here. So like if we were to pull up, hit here, that breakdown of those levels, those are the better ones. That's why you get that, because now you're in a larger structural one. When you get a micro one here after a pull, yes, it could be a pull, push, pull, possible. But remember, it's a 15-second, so if it moves 15, 20 points, it's a 15-second. It's really all it's supposed to do. And so I'm not a big fan as myself, and I've seen it play out many, many times, but when I get a deep pull, taking the short of that. I just, and that is, I'll tell you guys, the best advice I can ever give any of you, and I preach to my mentor group over and over and over and over. You don't have to take every trade. If you are trying to take every trade, you are going to be wrong at some point. Anything on this TradingView chart can be invalidated pretty quickly because of the fact that, yeah, I think he usually gets his money and goes. I figured he probably was gone. But anything on the indicators here can be validated because it's all lagging data for the most part. But this one does really, really well. But again, not every move is going to be massive. I'd love to see it play out to give you extension to the 22, but in my mind, the where this closed, it already moved 15 points. You know, for a 15-second, that's pretty decent. So, but let's check back in with old Neo here. What time is it? 10:45. Good deal. All right, we wanted to kind of take a look at what your perspective is on this level, because we are trying to hold above that 122 area, and it can't decide if it wants to hold these higher highs, higher lows, and we're going to shift, or is this a potential full collapse? Let's see what his perspective is.
It's not deciding between to the moon or total collapse just yet. It's mostly deciding how much it wants to torture us inside this bearish order block. You're effectively watching the 30,123 institutional gamma wall and the 5-minute bullish order block zone. 30128, 30139 as the last real line of defense for the bulls. If buyers can't reclaim and hold above the 30,176 resistance, the bearish breakdown remains the captain of this ship. Losing that 30,123 wall is exactly where that full collapse scenario gets a lot more open highway to run, but until price actually breaks that zone, we're just stuck in a messy cage match.
Yeah. So 176 is what he is calling his line in the sand now. So 176, there we go. So let's delete that one. He's adjusted this one to 123, like that. As of right now, you know, we'll have to see, guys, because we are, remember what I was telling you guys, and I don't know if it's gonna happen, we'll see. With this type of structure up here like that, when it does this, it usually is gonna have that half, attempt, fail, fail, southern play. There's nothing is guaranteed in trading, but there's usually one more little hoorah that tries to go. And if it cannot break the 50% of the whole leg, which is there, 201, if it does try to hoorah up and it loses that, it's going to be a deep, deep, deep drop. But if it breaks this, it's going to be I say hoorah because it's kind of like it's its last chance to make a higher high with extension. And if it fails that one, it's bearish as hell after that, guys. For the indicator, you just go to the website. I'm gonna bring that up while we're waiting for paint dry here. You go to the website here, and then you just click on trading algos. So NextStepAlgo.com, click on trading algos, and it's this one right here, the trap and block engine. You just click it. All of our stuff has how it works, what it is, the images, what it means. We have coupons. Our indicators are not expensive. They're 20 bucks a month, so they're not expensive on that. But yeah, guys, check out the website. I tested a theory today, and I'm gonna explain it here in a minute. And so far, it seems to be working. When it comes to appeasing the TikTok gods, and so we'll see how that works. And I'll explain it here in a little bit. But guys, it's 10:48. So just so those of you that are joining know, I'm working on something really cool for the mentor and VIP people. And I can kind of show you a little sneak peek if it'll let me put it on here. I have it off right now, but let's see if I can add it in. And so we were talking this morning, and I'm going to probably not do the afternoon session, so not in a major rush to get off at 11. But the reasoning is because I was going to go work on this indicator that I'm doing here. So let's see if I reloaded that. Should load it up. Oh, there you go. It still didn't give it to me. Let me pull it off to the side here real quick, because I don't have it published on there, so. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Very rough draft. So, I will touch on the mentoring question also 1 second, because there's a few important pieces on there. Let me go through my theory here of what I'm trying to do for these guys. And so I'm going to mute the trap and block for now. And so a lot of what I teach, which I'm not going to go deep into that, is a lot of looking at things like, you know, absorption, as you guys hear, dojis, candles, you know, all candles work with intent and how they work. Everything within the chart matters, measure moves, things like that, extensions. And so I am working on having it draw an auto fib retracement, which pretty close to how I like it. And it's going to give a lot of stats. It's going to tell you all the time frames. Are we in a bullish or bearish pivot? How far are we in the pivot? What's the average move in the pivot? Where are we holding on the fib at the higher time frames? You know, does it building steam? Is it losing steam? And it's going to basically align with what I teach. And so it's going to be pretty cool. I don't want to go too crazy into it because I mostly hijacked one Paul was working on already. And we kind of cranked out a little bit of it last night. So I want to really put some work into it. I have a lot of ideas that I want to do with it. And it's going to be awesome when we're done. On the mentoring side, so we are really close to the 50. There's a few of you, and if you're watching on TikTok or you're in the room and you have not responded or committed to a mentor group, you're gonna want to do it soon, because we are, if you go to the mentor program, I'm at 47 out of 50. Now I've been 47 and 48 out of 50 most all week, a little into last week, because when I meet with somebody on the phone or on a Google Meet, I sorry, I was like, Bobby, I'll answer yours because it's quick. It works on anything, so it doesn't matter. It works on everything. It's pretty cool. Stocks too, options, any time frame. That's why it's literally the most universal one we made. It's amazing. So when I meet with you, if you are, you know, hey, let's, you know, I'm down to join, let's go. It's a good conversation. You get approved, you're in. It locks you a spot. That is how we build up this number here. Now, just because it locks you a spot doesn't mean your spot is there forever. So what I've told people is once you commit and subscribe into the mentor program, then you're in. The closer I get to 50, once I tap 50, I reach out to people. And depending how long ago we talked, if you don't respond, you get bumped. So, just look for the emails if you're looking to join it, because I will tell you the true number we went through yesterday. I think we're at 44, 5. Shoot, I don't even know. Let me look. Oh wait, we actually have 48, 46. We're at 46, maybe 45, 46, somewhere in there. That's our true number of already in. So once that gets to 50, guys, you're probably by next week you're gonna see another one. It's gonna say limited spots and waiting list, and you can see that everybody that's on the waiting list. VIP, you can join whenever you want on the VIP. So for that, if you're interested, trap and block playing out yet again. I'll tell you that indicator is it's so good when you're trading with it, and it's almost annoying if you're counter trading it. So let me look at something. Yeah, we're getting that pull. So what I want to do when I get these trap and blocks too, guys, you can set alerts from them, but I like to look and go up the time frames. We have a 1 minute one too. Notice where we bounced though. We bounced right off of the 1 minute lower one. So it's in a squeeze between the lower and the higher. One of them's gonna win, and that makes sense because we're dojiing like a mother. So let's see if there's any on the 5. Oh, the 5 only has the one that we have here for support. The 15, let's check that one. No, 15 I have nothing until all the way down here. Interesting. So when you're at, now while we're on the 15, we'll look at this. kind of an interesting thing that just literally caught my attention. I'm really curious how this plays. Most people look at this and think we're dropping to the floor. We got liquidity here, got the trap, got the trend line. It makes sense, and it's possible. Let's see who's in the room still. Kirk, you're in here. I know you know. What else are we looking at here? I bring up Kirk because I know you love to trade that one lately. Kirk's like, don't call me. I know you guys love the random callouts. Kirk's making coffee. All right, Kirk, if you get back, you let me know. Anybody else know what I'm thinking here? What do we got? Come on. Come on, peoples. Okay.
Bear flag or bull flag?
No, no.
There's
So,
gotta be a fib level somewhere.
what
And show them.
what am I drawing? The start of a possible what?
3-tier.
Is that like the Obi-Wan or something?
3-tier.
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 So if you take
That's good
the
move.
yeah, so if you take the where is it? Price range. If I take this low to this high and I take this low to this high, holy shit, Batman, that's to the T, to the dollar. That's where you notice measure moves. So we literally rejected here because we should have rejected here, not because we're going to just be bearish. We hit a perfect measure move from a push to a push. It's supposed to reject there. That's a lot of the point of that indicator I'm going to be creating for you guys so that we can just have that there, not see that. What does that mean? So what that means is, and again, nothing in trading is perfect. When I zoom out here, I have a prior high right there on 77. We can get all the way down to there, guys. We can go all the way down to 190 something, anywhere in there, and still jump. Anywhere, actually, when you deal with the 3-tier drive, anywhere above here can jump. And so when you look at it, though, we don't really want to fall below our 50. So anything above here, which is 30,052, can still jump. When you look at the 3-tier, now this is going to be likely on a little higher time frame, probably not 1 hour, but maybe 30 minutes. What that does, I'll give you guys a little extra fun sauce here. It typically likes to do this, go sideways, get a measured move to this, go sideways, and then if it cannot break that low, or if it breaks the low and reclaims the low, it typically is going to create one more little push. What I'm curious about, and this is where my mind goes for those who eventually will figure out that I do not read the market the same as everybody else. I'm going to delete some of these lines because we are mostly done, but I'm going to give you a little something here. A lot of times when you get that play, if it's going to hold, when you get the breakout up and hold, more times than not, if you take, I got to do this. The move, actually it was a little higher. It's that high. And you tap it where the breakout would be. Somewhere right there, let's say. Usually that 3-tier will take that top to the top and it will get to about there. Isn't it fascinating that's right around that 507? Remember that's what he called yesterday? And so I would not be surprised if we don't get to that at some point. Now, can we pull back further? Of course, because remember, we're not even retesting this top. If anything, if we don't pull back to here, right, and we don't clear this gap from our high to our low, that is strength. That's going to show deep, deep extension, and it might get the full damn push. But I will also share with y'all something, and then we'll move forward, that when this breaks out, it typically will try to push, hit that 50, and then if it rejects and it loses the prior high and prior low, it's going to be a really nasty drop. It'll pull all the way back down. So, some fun facts. A lot of things that I look at, very different in the market. So, yeah. So, yeah, you're looking here. If I pull a higher time frame right, you got your double top play on there. So But we'll see. We'll see if the market acts how it's wanting to. But we also know the fun of Fridays is what? Pump and dump Friday. We all love pump and dump Fridays. But guys, I'm gonna jump off here in a bit. I'm gonna look at something. Yeah, I'm gonna jump off here in a little bit, and we'll see where we go for the day, guys. Yeah, it hit did it hit the one? I didn't take the trade, like I said. Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, I got the 123. Did you guys TP out? Did you get your TP on that? Like I said, I didn't take it. I don't take everyone. Nice, good deal, good job. Good job. Fridays are funny, guys, so be careful. It's I did this little exercise with my my mentor group. It's funny when you look at certain things, very bearish, very bullish, right? It's all perspective. And so of the time frame that you're trading. What I will tell you with Fridays is that they tend to fake one way, and then around lunch they reverse pretty hard. And so I don't know. Could this double top play? Of course. But if you are gonna play this as a double top of sort, you damn sure better make sure it's acting like it. Meaning, if this is a double top, in this leg, it should not retrace really at all, if very little. We should pull through the neckline with violence, like this. Then we should pull up into the neckline. We can pull past it, but it better absorb pretty quickly below it. Otherwise, it's not acting like it should be. And I will also give you a little extra because it's fun Friday. When I do this exercise and I do that drawing, I say that is a double top, and people say, "Oh yeah, it's a double top," and then I go, "Well, now what is it?" Well, it still could be a double top. And then it was a fun exercise because then I said, "Okay, now what is it?" Oh yeah, see, it's still a double top. Okay, well now what is it? Well, it could still be a double top. And the exercise that I did was so cool because, oh man, it proves so many of my points, which is we get tunnel vision and patterns. Patterns are visuals, and as as Neo will tell you, it's retail thinking. You want to understand it and you want to see it, but you do not want to marry to it. You want to make sure that if it's going to be that, I don't know, I'm not going to take a short here. And that's no different than why, if you're in the short, you know, you keep trailing it. But I want to see it pull with some violence, that the sellers are actually kicking in, then try to absorb, because that's usually what they're going to do to stop hunt the people that are in early. Then on the close, I'll take it. Because if it's truly a double top, y'all, like it's gonna reclaim back to these prior highs. I mean, you got plenty of room to let that breathe. So, did you have a question, Andrew? Because I saw you like put your thing on, and then you put a thumbs up, and then you put a happy face, and I didn't know if you were just button mashing.
Yeah, I was button mashing.
Okay, that's why I'm like, I don't know
Sorry
if he's in there button mashing or he's got a question. So, all right. So yeah, we'll see. So again, you know, and I don't mind saying a little longer. We broke these prior lows here. We did not break this one. If it breaks these prior lows, and it's a bearish big ass structure on a Friday that should fall to the floor, it has no business reclaiming that. None. So if out of nowhere we get a little absorption and it holds with another close of a higher high, then it's not likely going to be a double top. But if it stays below it and it acts like it should, then it could on that. So, but guys, it's Friday. Like I said, I'm gonna go. It was a very late night for me, and I have to do a lot of things. And so have a great rest of your weekend. If you guys again want to check it out, Neo, we do that free 3-day trial. So all you do is go to the website nextstepalgo.com. You're gonna want to look for TradeVision. So if you click on here, you'll be able to see, there it goes. It comes in, we all have tiles there. So you can see TradeVision, 3-day trial, you click it. You can go down. My browser's lagging. Come on. Let me refresh the page. I do a lot of admin bouncing, and so my Google Chrome gets a little Hopefully not my internet. What is my internet doing? Let me open it up on a new page. My Chrome does not like to play nice. Like all of my Chrome is freezing. Let's see if my backend. Anybody who's on Neo, is yours loading fine? You're talking to him? I get this issue with Chrome sometimes when because I play back and forth in the admin side. Just want to make sure it's not something site. Yeah, it's definitely my Chrome there. And you come down, you have the 2 plans, and then you just click on the free trial.
I'm locked, loaded, and ready to see if the market actually wants to behave today. Let's do it.
Let's do it. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Have a great Friday. I'll be working still probably most of the day, so I'll be pretty available if anybody has any questions. You can DM me on TikTok. You can, email me, nick@nextstepalgo.com. You can make a support tickets. I'm pretty easy to get hold of, and I respond pretty quickly. So, again, a lot of cool things that we're coming out with, guys. The biggest project we're working on now is the Neo auto trading, the autopilot. That thing is going to be really cool. Looking forward to that. So you guys have seen what Neo does every day, and I know emotions are the hardest thing to deal with. So the beauty of it is, if Neo trades for you, then you don't have to worry about that from an emotional standpoint. So more to come. But it's been a very long week. I'm going to get at it because I got to, as we close in on our 50 for the mentor program, I have a lot of plans that I want to do for them. Lots of plans.
Hey, Nick, did you see Bobby's question about that indicator?
Yeah, I think I got that earlier. Kenneth, I missed yours on YouTube. I got to get better looking that way. The issue is I have all these monitors. Maybe I'll put on my TV and throw it up there. I have all my monitors, so I have all my stuff aligned, and I align the YouTube comments over that way, but I don't like to look that way because that's where also my trading goes, and I don't tend to like to look towards the P&Ls on that side. So I apologize if I missed any questions over